Well, GM, G to the M. Great morning, my friends. D-Gens, Diamond Hand Fam, Forge and Fuel Crew, Super Soldiers, One Percenters, Pioneers, Pivoters, Pursuers, Builders, Brothers and Sisters, Hermanos y Hermanas, Mamas y Papas, anyone I may have left out, and anyone in between. Welcome back. And welcome into the best way to start your day. It's time to get fired up at Forge and Fuel. Baby. I am your humbled, honored, and clearly always hyped host, Colton Capp Swirl One, and I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by, hang out with me and my guys, and dive down some motivational and inspirational rabbit holes unlike any other. My friends, we got one hell of a show on tap for you here on this magnificent Monday morning. And if you haven't checked your calendar yet, let me be the first to make clear that it is December the 16th, 2024. And I hope you're ready to wake up like never before, because we got more motivation, more inspiration, more good vibration, more dedication, more determination, more Asians coming your way over the course of the next hour to hour and a half or so than you're going to know what to do with, baby. But before we carry on, before we get this proverbial show train steaming on down the tracks of change, I must humbly ask you to do a few things. Maybe, just maybe, you can find it in that big old heart of yours to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you're currently ingesting the Forge of Fuel podcast on. If you are watching on YouTube, you might as well hit that notification bell down there as well, so you never miss the start of a live show or any other content dropping here on the channel. Who's to say, who's to know what might be right around the corner? And if you're enjoying this morning's program on the YouTube, hit that like button too. Help that algorithm. I guess that's how you say it nowadays. Get going and flowing on the YouTube. If you prefer watching the program on Rumble, maybe hit a subscribe. Maybe turn on a notification. Maybe hit a like over there too. Or if X is your viewing platform of choice, maybe give us a follow, maybe hit a like, maybe hit a repost, hell, even hit a quote post, let the people know on the X timeline why you're tuned in live in prime time to Forge and Fuel this morning. And last but certainly not least, if you are listening to this podcast on your favorite podcast directory like Apple, Amazon Music, or maybe even Spotify, maybe you could give us a follow or leave us a 5-star rating, or honestly just smash the hell out of whatever button you currently see on your screen, because it only helps us grow and flow on all those platforms as well. As for all of you beautiful humming beings tuned in, locked in live in prime time to the stream here this morning, the pod, whatever you want to call it, or maybe the recording, we can't thank you enough for being here. And if you've smashed those buttons, thank you so much for helping that algo go and flow this morning. But maybe you haven't. Maybe you're sitting back saying, why the hell should I do that? Well, maybe this show makes you laugh. Maybe it makes you cry. Maybe it makes you think. Maybe it makes you go, I ain't never thought of it that way before. And if it does, well, then don't be a hoe. Share the show. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Let somebody know. And we will proceed with this morning's program.
Don't be rude.
Thank you very much. 45, aka 47, and also Mr. Producer in the building, our guy Derek DZ Snow. Shout out DEEZYY. We must have talked about him 20, 25, 30 times over the course of our guest appearance that we did this past weekend. Who's to say, who's to know? Maybe we talk about that a little bit over the course of this show. Man, I'm feeling the vibe. What? I'm telling you what, I'm feeling the vibe still from it. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm ready to hit the bricks this morning, kids. So no more time to hesitate. No more time to delay. You know Mr. Producer's in the back, baby. But you don't know if another guy's here. So it's time to make clear that there is another man joining us this morning that without his yin to my yang, without his fire to my ice, his forge to my fuel, we would not be the program we are. So without further ado, please get on your feet and put your hands together for the founder of the Grandpa Ape Country Club.
What?
He is the lead pro on the GACC greens, if you will.
What?
A professional DJ coming off of a Friday set where I was sitting on my couch and I couldn't sit on my couch any longer because I was moving and grooving, and I got up and started shaking and choosing to get in the vibe. And then all of a sudden my face done doggone melted right off, and I said, is that my face on the ground? Oh no. And I stuck it back on my head. He had me feeling so damn good, making him a human iPod.
What?
A purveyor of positive vibes.
What?
A curator of high-level energies.
What?
A certified peace, love, and positivity pusher.
What?
The jet plane flying.
What?
McLaren driving.
What?
Rolex rocking.
What?
Jesus peace dangling.
What?
The president of St. Louis, Missouri.
What?
Sweet James Jones himself.
What?
The one, the only, with an emphasis on the one.
What?
He's DJ Swirl One. Great morning, Swirl One. How you doing?
Oh, are you kidding me? If I was any better, I'd be triplets. I get triple of things done today. I am on the moon, and then wait. I can't go to the moon because it doesn't exist. So I am out there on the flat plane somewhere higher and lower. If you know, you know. By the way, another podcast just came out. You guys might want to tune into that a little bit later today. We might dive into that. But before I do, I must say, great morning. Happy Monday Madness. We are excited to be here. I'm ready to rock. We are on the second half of December. It's about to be over. 2025 is right around the corner. What are you going to do with your time? What are you going to do with this last 2 weeks? I'll tell you what, I'm going to start by drinking some water. This little guy right here. This will get you a long way. I promise you. If you have anything that you could start drinking some water today.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Also, if you needed to wake up a little bit, look at this. The Yeti cup is completely to the brim, my friends. You realized, hey, I did run out the other day, so I made sure that I had a little extra today. So, wait, right here. Right here. There it is. Yeah.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Hey, we'll be a lot closer here soon. Who knows if that actually doesn't clink one day? Clink. We'd be like,
I'm pretty sure it will. No.
I'm just
gonna
say, I'm putting it out there.
The show's just going to continue to expand and improve. I already got some ideas. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put it out there live in prime time right off the bat. I was going to wait till the end, but screw it. This is my first full-time, officially full-time, everything, only thing, all focused Diamond Hand Media Group week. And I tell you what, I'm ready to rock and roll. I've had some thoughts. I've had some perspectives. I got some different things. I was working till late last night. I couldn't sleep at all. I woke up this morning ready to fucking go. I took a shower. I'm juice, Swirl One.
What are you trying to say? You don't take a shower before these shows?
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes not a full shower. It's a run through, and I always take a shower at night sometimes too. I like a nice little shower.
I always showered when I step on this here stage. Always. I start from here, off I go. So,
well, sometimes I go to the gym right after that. So then it's a double shower. Sometimes it's just a nice little hose down. I throw a little soap water on the face, get the eyes going, a little crazy hose down. I don't smell or anything, for crying out loud. I still got deodorant shit on. But what's the point of me taking a full doggone bubble bath if I'm just going to go to the freaking gym, waste the whole thing, and then come back and have to take another bubble bath? Just what
I'm familiar. So I was on a tin can just this week, and I have put out said tweets many times about showering when on said tin can. So I'm always showered when I get on a tin can. Not only that, I make sure I put on my Chanel or whatever I'm supposed to be wearing that day. I smell fresh and clean, right? So I get on this little can. I go to pass out. Start smelling something. I'm like, the heck? I'm like, oh, okay. It's not actually. It's like, I think it's behind me. Okay, no problem. So I pass out. I wake up, and it's like 20 minutes before we're about to land. And I look over to the dude next to me, and the dude over here is like, he's like this. And he's looking at me. And I'm like, I start looking at him like, motherfucker, you got me all fucked up, bro. And so he keeps shaking his head and go like, look at me. And I'm like, so I went. I look right at him like, bro, I know you ain't talking to me. I literally looked at him. He kind of looked at me all, and I was like, it's coming from back there. And he looked at me all, and I just said, this, yeah, from back there. Yeah, not here, bro. Like, this is not me. And he looked at me, and he kind of leaned in a little bit. Then he kind of did one of these little things, and he just shook his head and turned around. So who's to say, who's to know? Just saying, a little hygiene inside those tin cans.
Always practice safe hygiene and proper hygiene before you get on a damn tin can for multiple hours with other humming beings. Nobody wants to smell your damn BO, you nasty sons of guns.
Nobody does.
Ugh. And that's like a 1% thing. You toss on a little cologne, little spritz, and then you go into an airplane. People are like, wow, who's that heavenly smell? Everybody else smells like fucking fast food.
Dude, you have no idea.
Sweat and fucking disgustingness in here. Man, I've been trying to put our guy D's on game, right? We gotta take him to a Cologne store when you get up here, man, because I tell you what, I've been giving him this scent, that scent, every scent in between every time he comes over. He's like, how do you have all this cologne? What is that? What is this? I'm like, bro,
I'll tell you the secret. You really don't need all that many. You only need a couple really good ones.
I got 4.
And I promise you'll change your life.
150%, dude. I can't give away my number one. My number one is,
I'm not afraid, shit. But that's for like
can't be mixed with sense.
Maybe the gateway.
Yeah. Can't be mixing sense. No. That is no good. No good. I show up to an event and then somebody's out there rocking my sit and then they end up picking up the chick. No, we can't. No. We can't run that risk. Who's to say? Who's to know? But Swirl, speaking of running risks, sometimes people might agitate you. Sometimes while you're out in this world,
sometimes seems to happen a lot.
People might just get underneath the fucking skin. And you might just want to put them up, maybe practice a little of that Aikido right on their forehead. Maybe you watched the UFC over the weekend and you still got a little piss of vinegar in you on Sunday, a little more on Monday, and then somebody says something wrong to you, and you say on Monday afternoon, fuck it, I'm trying out the move I saw in the cage on Saturday night. I'm knocking this chicken sucker clean out. Well, this morning, my friends, this video, our morning laugh, here to remind you that maybe you shouldn't try out those moves you saw in the cage on Saturday and just keep your happy ass sat right down.
I see you. Oh, they do this. Oh, the capoeira.
You don't think it's gonna hurt?
Oh, that did not do that. That did not do that.
It gets better the second time. Don't worry.
When the chocolates come off.
Puta madre is right.
Bruh.
Oh my. Hey, you're muted, Swirl One. You were blowing your nose. You pulled the cap. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. I was excited. She pulled the chocolates off, bro. When the chocolates come off, it's over. God bless.
Oh my goodness, man.
That's hilarious.
That spinning back kick of doom just didn't quite connect.
Bro,
sweetheart. She's
trying
so hard.
Like this. Well, I think it was supposed to come like up here.
So, my friends, there was your subtle reminder that, everything you see inside the UFC octagon maybe shouldn't be attempted outside of the UFC octagon. And maybe if you want to learn how to defend yourself, maybe go take some classes and don't just try it on the street one time for the one time. Who's to say, who's to know, Swirl One?
Bro, I don't know what to think about that. I don't know if I would ever try a roundhouse capoeira style kick in the middle of a. I don't know. I don't even know what that was.
I would, but not like that.
Oh, come on, right there in the middle of the street like that.
Well, not like that, and not in a friggin' at a 50-degree, 45, 90-degree incline. I don't know what that is.
Afterwards,
she almost fell down the first time too.
Yes.
She
That's when the chocolates came off. It was like, all right.
Oh shit. Well, there's your morning laugh, kids. Who's to say, who's to know? We always like to start this show with a little chuckle, get you going, make you get a little something, little juices flowing, burning on the brain, melting on the heart, fastening on the soul, give you something to think back to when you go to your inevitable shitty moments of the day. You can think back about that sweetheart throwing a spinning back kick on a 90-degree incline and then going rolling into her destiny. But, my friends, Swirl One, you said something at the beginning, and if I was any better, I'd be triplets. I don't think the world could handle three of you, and I don't think the world could handle three of me. So I guess we'll just stay the ones, and we'll proceed with this morning's program, baby, because I'm ready to get this proverbial showboat surfing through the waves of change. And it's been a few days since you've seen us. Been a few moons since we fired up this program, and maybe you've been going through it. Maybe you've been smashing straight into the obstacles of life and you need some perspective on some opportunities. Maybe the losses have been high afoot. Maybe you need some perspective on some lessons. Maybe those failures around every doggone corner, maybe you just need to realize they're a brand new chance to flourish. Maybe those battle weapons you've been using on the battlefield over the last few days are a little dull, and you need to get them sharpened back up. You need to take some time to get them nice and filed back down. Well, now is your opportunity to do that. As we get into the first segment of the day, you know the vibes, baby. It's your sharpening session. Alrighty then, my friends. Back here live in prime time on episode 630 of Forge and Fuel for your first segment of the day, your sharpening session. And this morning, if you don't know, you won't know. Let me be the first to get you up to date on this show. What we're going to start off talking about. And if you didn't read the topic of the show, you may not be aware, but let me get you privy. We're going to talk about real recognizes real. The triple R, real recognizes real. And you know, my friends, I referenced it at the top of the show, but I've been thinking a lot since Saturday evening about mine and Swirl's appearance on the Phone Booth podcast. Shout out to Ted and Bill and Death and Rufus and all the guys over at the booth. We had an absolutely amazing time. And you know, anytime I do something different like that and a monkey wrench, a proverbial monkey wrench gets thrown into the daily monotony of my life, I like to reflect on it. I like to kind of go back and what did I learn? Why did that happen? What can possibly be in the future, right? And you know, one thing I really noticed is that these boys over at the Phone Booth pod, they catch a lot of hate. They catch a lot of hate. They put out one simple little clip of us going back and forth, a little funny, little laugh if you guys didn't see it. And the amount of hate that they caught just on that post alone was insane to me. And you know what I realized is that I want to be a flat earther more than ever before. Because I've noticed that these flat earthers, they're just real. They're not trying to sell you on anything. They're not trying to make you something that make out something that they're not. They're not trying to spread falsehoods. They're just trying to understand the truth. And most of these people move with peace, love, and positivity in their own way. And then you got these globies who just come out of nowhere, out of every little crack and crevice, the 99 percenters, when the flurfers are the 1 percenters. The 99 percenters coming out, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Oh, look at that fucking circle jerk. Oh, you dumb sons of bitches. You're so stupid. And in that moment, I realized, oh my gosh, these globies are just so bought into the system. They're just so 99% that they can't hear anything that shatters their glass walls of their truth when it is so far from what is really the truth. And I'll tell you what, I had one of the best conversations that I've had in a long time on Saturday night. And I bet you Swirl One will echo my sentiments on that. And I was thinking, why was this so good? Why was it just so packed with perspective? And we were laughing and just down this rabbit hole and that rabbit hole. Why? What is it? Why does that happen sometimes? And then other times you tune into a show and you can tell it's a struggle for people to even be on the screen and talking with each other. And I realized it came down to the title of the show. Real recognizes real. And not a single person on that screen was trying to be something they're not. Everybody had their masks off. Everybody was truly them. And, you know, we had an opportunity to kind of talk about that on the show of taking off your mask, taking action, the rules of the Diamond Ham fam, the Diamond Ham Media Group. And that is just something that most people can't do. Is take off that mask, and especially when they get on a camera, they got to put on some front or some show. You guys will see I am this same guy over there on the Phone Booth pod. Same talk, same vibe, same energy, same everything. Swirl One is the same way. You will see it transfers everywhere. You meet us live in primetime at one of our yearly events or one of our different events, you're going to see it's the same exact thing. And that's because real recognizes real, and not a single one of us are trying to be something we're not. And I started thinking, why does that happen? Why does that happen for some people and why does it not happen for other people? And it went back to something that I mentioned on the show. Not this show, Phone Booth Pod. I talked about Ephatha. Ephatha. Ephphatha. In the translation for the word Ephatha in English means be open. Be open. And, you know, most people will turn down opportunities because of this excuse or that excuse, or because they disagree with this person, or maybe they think the globe's round and this person thinks the globe's flat, and they can't ever come to the middle and have some type of agreement and be open to just have a regular, normal conversation. We got to just always be throwing shit at each other. Excuse me. And it's so funny how most people just live their lives closed off, buying into the system, buying into what society wants you to hear, believing in that the government has your best interest at heart. And we all know that's not the truth. So why do we keep believing it? And I realized, man, these flurfers, flat earthers, are just 1%ers. They're just people out there trying to find the truth, people out there trying to be real, raw, and open, people out there who are tired of being lied to by the system. And they found the truth that if we are instead of, then maybe we're the ones. Maybe we are the ones that were put here to make a change, to make a difference, to be the most impactful beings on this entire planet. Yet we waste our days and our times playing Xbox and watching Netflix and going to a 9 to 5 for somebody else that doesn't even know our last name. Yet we're building their dreams for them, and we don't have enough gumption to build ours. I'll leave you with this. You don't guide life, you ride life. I heard Ice-T say that on a space long time ago when he was thinking about getting into the NFT space. How good did that work? But that quote has always stuck with me. Sticked with me. You don't guide life, you ride life. The more you white knuckle life and try to drive the proverbial car of life into whatever lane you want it to go, the more chances are you're going to forget to check your rear view mirror and you're going to slide right into somebody and it's going to cause a head-on collision. Maybe it's time to release a little bit of control. Realize that you don't need to worry about any other lane, anybody else, because you're in your lane. You're doing your thing. Forget about all the other cars on the road of life when they're not even in your lane. Start to ride life and realize that the more you're open to opportunities that other people are closed off to, the more those opportunities are going to come up. And the more you keep your mind open like this and say, why did that happen? Why did I go through that? What is this supposed to teach me, both good and bad? The more things are going to be opened unto you. The more doors you walk through, the more doors that are going to appear. The more you keep walking down the hallway, the more opportunities you're going to have to keep finding the next room. It's that simple, but you're the only one that can keep walking down those hallways, opening up those doors, shaking those hands, meeting those people. You know, the relationship with the Phone Booth Pod guys started off of a simple DM between me and Malka, and he said, hey, you should check these guys out. So I did. I loved what they were about. He said the same thing to them. Now the rest is history. So my friends, real recognizes real in almost every single situation in life. And in the same exact point, real recognizes fake. So I hope you know where you fall, and I hope you know where you stand when you find yourself out in this land. Who's to say, who's to know, Swirl One? What do you think about them opening thoughts?
Bro, I love it. I had a great time on that podcast, and you're absolutely correct. Boy, was that conversation free flowing. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I got to tell you, it was amazing because I did see the hate. They talked about it on the show and they talked about it. Hell, I've seen some of their posts and they're always back and forth with people in there, like for all the reasons, every reason somebody's mad at them for something. What I realized is that people don't like different. That's what it comes down to. They want you to get in line. Why don't you just get in line like the rest of us? Why can't you just act like the rest of us? Why do you have to act like this thing's flat when we all know it's round? Oh, do we? I bet if you asked a couple questions out there, a lot of people might think, I don't know if this is really round or flat. It couldn't tell you. There might be a doubt one way or the other. That's pretty interesting. But I'll go back to those combos because, as I think about what we were able to do, the reason why we were able to be so free flowing in our conversations, because everybody was exactly what Capp said, being ourselves. We weren't worried about faking the funk or trying to come up with something new to say, or wait, maybe if I say this, they'll like me, because I didn't really care what they thought of me at that point in time. Hey, it was too late. They already had the camera on. I was going to say what I was going to say. Just like in the mornings when I turn this camera on, hey, what comes out, comes out. I don't plan this, right? I don't get up and say, well, after Capp says this, I'm going to say this, and then we're going to do that. No, we get on here free flow, real raw and open, do exactly what you guys see in real time. What's really happening is when you're amongst the people that are actually open in themselves, it's okay for you to be silly. It's okay for you to be, hell, what other people might say embarrassing, right? It's not to me. I'll say anything. It don't bother me. Why? Because it's my truth. It's me. It's what I'm saying. It's what I'm doing. I'm not afraid of who I am and how it comes out to people. That's the difference. And sometimes it's all about the message. And sometimes people get so mad at the person delivering the message. And it's like, hey, remember, don't shoot the messenger. Well, sometimes you shoot the messenger just because they're trying to open your eyes. And if you actually thought about some of the things we talked about last night, you would find that a lot of the reasons why a lot of people don't want you thinking in the method that they do is because they're keeping you further from your creator. They're keeping you further from the truth, from the things that might free your mind, right? Why would they ever want to lead you in a direction where your mind might be free when their whole system is completely dependent on you looking to them for every bit of help, looking to them to save your money problems, looking to them to get your education or whatever it might be? Wow, how crazy is that? I think about that all the time. And I think about the hate that people get and not realizing the intent of the message that they're trying to bring. Well, we are the same over here because we don't get 1,000 people showing up every day. Somebody might tune in. Oh, those guys are cocky. They don't know what they're talking about. But they don't understand the message is just us getting on here free flowing exactly how we came about this thing called life and how we got to this day. And there's a lot of lessons to be learned from that. There's a lot of things that you might be able to gather and some knowledge that you might be able to apply to tomorrow or today or to help you get through that next challenge. It's crazy to me. You guys look at the Phone Booth Cop podcast or us and you think hey, those guys are crazy. They look like I got 10 heads. How can they speak like that? Well, you know what's funny? When I look back at people who don't watch this show and don't think like I do, and they say, oh, well, woe was me. Thanks for noticing me. I'm not going to catch a break. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I look at them the same way. Like they got 10 heads. Why? Because that just doesn't register with me. It's different to me. And what's right to me is definitely not right to you. So I get it. We all look at each other like we all got 10 heads. But you have to understand, just because I look at you like you might not know what you're talking about, you probably do on some level or some plane. And if you can explain it to me, will I understand your opinion? Maybe, possibly. Will I be all about, your side? I'm going to be, I agree. I'm going to be all in. No, but you know what? That's what this whole life's about. Variety, choice, difference of opinion, being able to come together and start talking about things in a constructive manner where one person's not going to start throwing mud at the other one just because they have a difference of ideas. We all really are going one place. And really what's happening is many of us are just trying to find the truth. I felt those guys this weekend really just truth seekers. I really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it myself, Swirl One. I tell you what, man, it's great to be surrounded with people who think differently. And, what you said right there at the end is something that I think we need to talk about more often. And I think more people need to realize that we can have disagreements without having arguments. I love a good old fashioned debate. Let me tell you why my perspective's better than your perspective without screaming and yelling, right? If I can, that's who wins arguments. Everybody thinks somebody who wins an argument is, oh, I can scream and yell the loudest and be so big and act so tough. I used to think that. Not anymore. I don't need arguments. I can't tell you the last time I had an argument with anybody. And I used to argue with my mom all the time, and jeepers creepers, we'd butt heads left, right, and center. And you know what it was? And this is advice for parents across the board. And we came to terms, is that my mom was trying to control my life and I was trying to control her life. And we were trying to, get each other to see in a certain way. And then it always blew up instead of just sharing the perspective and saying, hey, here's where I see this. Oh, wait, I kind of see it the same way, but I thought you saw it. We're in the same perspective. We're just type A and in work mode and we're grinding and going and we ain't got time for bullshit. And now we understand that. Oh, I'm not mad at you. I'm just hyped up at the situation. I got to go. Ain't got time to be on the phone. Boom. Sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes that's how it is with me and Swirl. Pick up the phone. Hey, bro, I'm in the middle of some shit right now. What you need? Oh, hey, I'll hit you back. Don't worry about it. Get on your shit. Keep killing it. Catch you later. Boom. That's all it has to be. It's no big deal. Sometimes you're in work mode. You're grinding. You're going. Sometimes there's disagreements, but you don't have to always have an argument just because there's disagreements in life. There's differences of opinion. That's what makes life beautiful, is that you can have different opinions, different truths. Well, there's only one truth, but different ideas and different thoughts and things along that line. And man, I got to go back to just what we were talking about and you were talking about, I was talking about, just all of us being real and everybody having off the mask. And, I got off the show and I was just kind of spending some time and thought and whatever. And I went into the old bathroom and I did something that I always talk about on the show. I just flipped on the lights and I just looked in the mirror for 5 minutes. I just kind of sat there and thought, and I realized that for the first time in a really, 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 really long time, I'm happy with what I see in the mirror. I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I'm centered. I'm fulfilled. I'm balanced. I'm full of life. I'm full of energy. And I realized that for the longest time, I wasn't happy with what I saw. And I was just continuing to tell myself that. Fake it till you make it. Right. But maybe sometimes you're telling yourself that and nobody's telling you how far down the path you've gotten, how far away, and you keep kind of lying to yourself and, oh, I'm happy with what I see. Yeah, everything's all good. No problem. I had a picture come up on my time hop. I was thinking that I was all yoked out and, I was doing my push-ups and everything was great. Jeepers creepers. I was still skinny as a fucking rail. And I'm looking at that picture like, oh my gosh, what was I even doing? And, just being able to be real with yourself. Real recognizes real. Recognize the real in yourself in the mirror before you can recognize the real in anybody else. Take off your mask before you fucking die. Don't get to your deathbed and still have this mask on of trying to be what everybody else wants you to be or thinks you should be or potentially has you to be in their journal. Whatever. Be you. Just be you. And I'm telling you, these relationships, these opportunities, these 2.5 hour long podcasts. I mean, we talked for 2.5 hours and you would have never even known. And me and Swirl sit here and talk for an hour and a half every single day. I got a couple of things jotted down. We got a few little agenda points, but I haven't thought about anything I'm saying right now at all in the last 24 hours. I'm just going. Swirl tripped my trigger. We're being real. We share some perspective. And if it makes you move a thought, move a muscle, change a thought in a positive direction, then by golly goodness, we're doing our job. And maybe if you chuckled right there too, when I said, by golly goodness, you said, why does this guy say that stupid shit? Then I'm double doing my job because I'm making you laugh, I'm making you cry potentially, and I'm making you think. I'm giving you a full day before 9 a.m. on the East Coast. Who the hell else out there is doing that, Swirl One?
Yeah, nobody. I'm up early as I possibly could be to bring these vibes. And I tell you, I can't just wake up. Like I said earlier, I get up, take shower, do all the things before I get on this because I've got to be ready for my day. I have to have my own grounding and my own time spent with myself before I can get on here and tell everybody else how to spend their day, if I don't have my wheels in order and all my thoughts in order, how can I get on here and not be 100% organized with what I'm going to try to say? And, you talked about being on this plane of being happy with who you are right now. And I even spoke on it when we were talking on the podcast with the boys. Hey, I'm not afraid of getting rid of all these things that, quote unquote, make me what I am. That doesn't bother me, because at the end of the day, so many people are trying to identify with what they are by where they work or what they wear or what they drive. And that's not who you are. Yeah, it might be a byproduct of what you've been able to achieve. Maybe it's something that you've been able to maybe amass a bunch of wealth and be able to get these things, but it's not who you are. Your name is not Bugatti. I'm sorry. That's not, I mean, you might drive it, but that's not your name. There is a guy that, that can claim that, but that's not you, right? I have to understand what people are looking at me when they think, oh, well, he thinks he's this because he drives that, or, oh, he thinks he's great because he got this job or that job. It's not about that. That job doesn't define who you are, make up who you are. What makes up who you are is the thoughts that you put in front of your mind every single day when you get up, to allow yourself to be a better person. Every time you interact with somebody, do you leave them in a better place? Do you have conversations that are genuine, where you can actually make real eye contact with people? There was a guy the other day that I could tell right away was very standoffish by my presence inside this business. And it was when I was telling you guys we were opening up something. And this guy obviously looked like he worked out. You could tell he was built like a brick shit house, right? And he was definitely, a lot of people might think he's a little intimidating, but not me. I've seen guys like this. Hell, I've been in a lot of skirmishes with guys like this. So I immediately knew we had to be allies. So every time I try to talk to him, he would give me some crass. Well, I talk to that person too. I'm like, look, bro, I'm not trying to be that guy, but I got this guy on the phone right now. So you want to act like you want to pull rank. I'm just asking questions. And I kept going back to him about things. And by the end of the day, I realized he didn't like being asked questions or didn't like authority. But one thing I did is I stopped and I started asking him about him. And when I did, straight eye contact, never, ever took my eyes off of his. And the more I looked at him, the more his defenses came down, because he realized that I wasn't afraid of asking or telling or saying anything in front of him that would make my personality or my person feel less than, because I was confident enough to look at this guy, no matter where he was in his life, to be able to be, no matter where I am in my life, and be equal. And that's the difference. See, some people will look at people and think, oh man, this guy intimidates me, or, hey, I don't know how I can look. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they look down. No, I don't care. We are equal. I don't care. I wake up every day so proud of this body, this person, this mindset, and everything I've done, that I'm not going to stand in front of you and cower or act like you're a better person because, A, you're slightly intimidating, bigger than me, or maybe you told me off a little bit earlier in the day. That shit don't matter to me. You know what matters? The fact that I keep getting up every single day and being me. Nobody can ever take that away from me. I can't ever substitute it. It doesn't come in any kind of packet I can just take off and put there. This is what you get when you get up. You get real, raw, open Swirl One. Whether you see it now or you see it out in real life, or you're catching it on the podcast that you're about to see later today, whatever it is, I'm not breaking that for nobody. So when I look at you dead in the eye, understand I'm trying to understand you better by letting you know that I'm not afraid to hear things, say things, and experience things, even if they're challenging.
Boy, that eye contact bit's a big one. And the more, hey, is what we keep talking about. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Back.
The the rights, the system. Once you start seeing how much people do this while they're talking to you and how uncomfortable it is, and then you start to realize how much you do it, you say, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Be more in the present moment. And why is it so uncomfortable to look somebody square in the eyes? Because it's the gateway to the soul. You know exactly where they're coming from. You know if they're on bullshit, or you know you're telling the truth. And you can feel that energy. It's the souls connecting, talking right there. Boom! In the moment, present, one moment at a time. Holy shit, feel this energy. But most people are in the future having a present conversation. In the past, having a present conversation. Mindset way out here, physical body in this current time. No thanks. Be right here. Be here now. Be here now. Open your eyes. Ifata. Be open. That word comes from the Bible, And in the original translation, the blind woman that Jesus heals, he spits in her eyes and says, Ephatha, be open. Well, if you look deeper into the text and do research, she was never blind. She was just closed off to what society. She had the matrix in front of her eyes. And basically, Jesus took away the matrix and say, you see it now. Go forth, sin no more, be open. Now is your time. You see the truth. You're never going to be able to see it the same way again. So either you can stand tall, start applying these things, start doing what I tell you, what I'm speaking about, what I'm preaching about, what I've showed has worked in my own life, or you can just keep dragging your knuckles and keep doing the same fucking things over and over and over. And I suppose when you get in that mindset and you just continue to be this real, raw, open, you're not afraid to lose it all, Swirl One. You're not afraid to, Diamond Hand Media Group could just goodbye, see you later, everything. I could literally lose it all, but I have more knowledge now than I've ever had, so I could just rebuild it again. I could just start all over again from where I'm at right now. And boy, oh boy, would that hallway be a whole hell of a lot shorter to the next destination. I wouldn't have to go through half the bullshit that I've already gone through. So don't be afraid to lose it all. Are you attached to your home, your accounts, your investments, your things? Do all these things make up you, or are you still you if all those things disappeared tomorrow? Or would your head clean pop off your body and you wouldn't even know how to speak English anymore? Who's to say, who's to know? I ain't afraid to lose it all. I'll build it back all tomorrow.
You start from experience. That's the difference. And when you got experience, that can never be taken from you. We've talked about it in the past. When you know what you know, it doesn't matter what utensil you're using. You still have that same skill. So the screwdriver is just a screwdriver. There is no spoon. You are the person that creates that action. Here's the other thing too, is, you start thinking about, hey, when I look people in the eyes, do they really want to hear what I say? Well, I tell you right now, they're engaging, right? They're engaging in conversation with you. So why wouldn't they want to hear what you want to say? It's interesting because after that sit down with those gentlemen the other night, I got off that, and man, I realized, because I'm not going to sit there and think we were going to make it 2 hours. I literally didn't think that was going to be the case. And me and Capp talked about it. Maybe might be an hour. You know what I mean? We looked at their podcasts and how far and how much they have. And I'm like, it could be an hour, maybe an hour, 15-minute conversation, right? So literally what I thought. Capp, I know you felt the same way.
I thought 30 minutes, cuz.
Yeah,
I thought 30 minutes and we're out. No problem.
Well, I first off was really completely humbled that I was invited to be on somebody else's podcast where they actually cared enough to hear what I have to say. So I'm going to show up. One thing I'm not going to do is shortchange them of who I am. I'm not going to sit there and I'm going to say this and I'm going to plan this because I know they'll like it, or, hey, I've seen their content, so I'm going to try to make this. And if I bring up this topic, then I know we'll have a good conversation. I just said, you know what? I don't know what I don't know, but what I do know is I'm really good at being me. So let me just turn the camera on and let's just see what happens. And bam, look at that. 2.5 hours later, the people that invited me up there enjoyed what we had to say. And I think that anytime you're in conversation, you're being invited by somebody to have an opportunity to enjoy what they have to say, to learn from that person, to find a little nugget that can help you in this little thing that we call life. And everybody you come across, I don't care if it's the waiter, waitress, the guy that holds the door, the person that's driving your Uber, it don't matter. All of these people can teach you something. And I don't care if you're open enough, Ephatha, right? If you're open enough, you will find the lesson, or you might have something you might be able to say that'll help that person too. And that's all we do in here every day, is hope that something we do, something we say will move a muscle, make your mind go, I haven't thought about it that way. And maybe you actually take some action today.
Hey, look at you using Ephatha in your look at you. First time I mentioned that word, you said, I don't even fucking know how to spell that. I ain't even going to I'm just going to gloss over that shit. I'll go to my point. Look at you, it's all coming together.
I learn. I take feedback very well, and I do apply things that I hear. So there you go.
I'm doing the same. Who's to say, who's to know? Everyone can teach you something. Maybe somebody says something. Maybe I say something. Maybe Swirl One says something. Hey, maybe one of these beautiful humming beans over there in the chat that I've seen all morning long. I've seen Teddy over there, some Live Dog, Jared Albright, JK, Mama Capp, Brittany Panko. Woo, we got some amazing humming beans in the chat this morning.
Thank you very much.
Shout out
That's
to all of
really
you.
nice. Thank you.
If you wouldn't mind, while you're locked in, holy shit, we're about to break 400, and we are only through the first segment of the day. Oh, wow! Shout out to all you beautiful humming beans tuning in, locked in, live in prime time, getting your day started the right way here at Forge and Fuel, baby. Hope you enjoyed that little opening conversation on Real Recognizes Real. Hope you got a little extra perspective of why you should take off your mask before you die. And maybe you're just tuning in right now and you didn't hear the conversation. Well, that's why it is always recorded. And you can go back and listen for your enjoyment at a later point in time, because it is now time to keep this proverbial show ship soaring through the skies and the universes of change, even though we may have found out this past weekend that none of that even exists. So maybe we just get on the tin can and soar through the skies of change as we get into your second segment of the day. Ooh, boys and girls, I'm hyped up for this one. It is your Reaction Refinery. Okie dokie artichokes. Back here live in prime time on episode 630 of Forge and Fuel for your second segment of the day, your Reaction Refinery. And as per usual, if you don't know, you won't know. Let me be the first to get you up to date. We got faux clips coming your way. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You might want to get them Kleenex. The crocodile tears, the waterworks might be flowing this morning. And I'm going to tell you what, you might want to also get a couple of fire extinguishers, because the fire flame is going to be shooting off of the doggone screen. I'm telling you right now, these things are heat. You better know what I mean. We begin today with a man who you see on social media all the time, most specifically on TikTok and Instagram Reels. He's made a few appearances on the Soft White Underbelly, a few appearances here and there, does his own thing. Most notably, he is an attorney, a very successful attorney that goes by the name of James J. Sexton, ESQ. And he is here this morning to tell us a little bit of perspective about being close to death.
Turn 18, they should have to spend a year as a hospice volunteer. Because if you spend a year with the terminally ill, you will never look at life the same again. For the rest of your life, you will have death right here in your peripheral vision, and you will never look at anything the same way again. You will not waste fucking time. You will not mince words. You will not be afraid. Because there's nothing to be afraid of, because you're gonna fucking die. And none of this is really gonna matter. Because if you think about the fact that you're definitely going to die, and there is a definite number of summers you're gonna see, and it's a finite number and you just don't know it yet. It might be 1, it might be 10, it might be 30. It ain't gonna be 50, right? So if you know that, you are not gonna care about the bullshit that people want you to care about. Because if people really stopped and went, wait a minute, I have a finite number of days, and I'm not gonna spend them being fucking miserable.
Bro, I talk about that all that damn time.
Yeah, maybe a reason I brought that.
I'm telling you, all the damn time. I talk about how many summers you have left, right? Literally, how many do you have left? I'm hoping I have 50 left. Do I have 50 left? I don't know, but I hope I do. But think about this. At one time, you had 80. You had 90 left. The whole world was your oyster. You could have bought any of that time back right now with any amount of money. You would do that. You would absolutely do that. The one thing that I'll think about, too, and I always ask people, they ask me, man, how are you so excited? How can you do this? How do you keep that energy up? And I always say the same thing. Well, I'm going to die one day. I say it clear as day. And they look at me. I'm like, I'm going to die one day. That could be tomorrow. And if that's tomorrow, I'll be damned if I'm going to get through today and not use every last bit of this energy that I got for this world. Because I promise you, there's going to be a time when you don't have the energy, when you can't stand up, when you're not able to sit there and scream from the mountaintops how powerful you are because of the time that you've spent and the things you've done to your body. It's going to break down. It's going to get to that end. And you better have used every bit that you had when you had it to the best of your ability. I'm not going to be that person that squanders my time, my moments. I was actually thinking about this that day. I had a meeting on Friday and somebody was in hospice and they were talking about how that person actually left hospice. And we all had a conversation like, when was the last time you saw somebody go to hospice and actually leave on their own power? It doesn't happen. People don't leave from there. But here's what I would say. Before you get to that point in time, before you end up in all the situations that are going to put you in that box over there, why don't you keep working that mental muscle so you don't end up getting dementia? Why don't you keep working that financial muscle so that you can pay for whatever care you need to go to? Why don't you keep flexing that physical muscle that you have so that you don't have to worry about holding yourself up with a crutch or maybe with a walker later? Literally, this is what we're talking about every day. If you do the things today that's supposed to happen, you're prolonging all of that bullshit that you're watching those people go through. And that's what life is. Take care of your today so your tomorrows will take care of themselves.
150%, man. You know, some people don't know, some people do know. If you're an OG, you do. You know, I lost my grandfather and my father in the span of a year, and both of them had dementia. Both of them got Alzheimer's. It was shitty. It was one of the toughest things I've ever had to go through in my life. Wow. And I could actually talk about it these days without breaking down in tears because of how much time I've spent in thought on it and how many fungi I've taken and spending time in it. Most people won't do that. And, you know, both of them, I will never forget when they got to the end of their lives, especially my dad. All he wanted to do was just come up and see me, was just wanted to start doing things with me. And we didn't have the best relationship in the world. We didn't see each other a whole lot. And, you know, it got to him being on his deathbed to where he started to see how much shit was going on in his life, how wrapped up and how down the wrong path he had gone. And holy shit, what the fuck? I've wasted this entire life. What the fuck am I doing? And then it was too late. And that's one of the biggest things that I just can't do. I've just been so fucking focused on that of just what am I doing today to make sure that I don't end up in that situation. I don't want to be on my deathbed surrounded by the ghosts of my past, on what I knew I could have been, what I should have been, what I would have been if I would have just taken the action instead of following the crowd, instead of being the 99%, instead of diving into the matrix and doing what everybody else does. You know why I fucking love old people? Because they have such great perspective. The blue hairs are my favorite in this world. I used to go to Kiwanian Club meetings with Grammy P every Tuesday because I love them old blue hairs. Them ladies would come and give me kisses and hugs, and they just have perspective like nobody else. They've been on this earth for 8, 9, 10 decades, and you don't want to talk to that? You don't want to find out what they know? You don't want to. That's why I've always been an old soul, because I don't hang out with young dipshits who know nothing about this life. I hang out with old generation who have figured this shit out, fucked up, and say, hey, bub, here's what you can do if you want to make your life a little bit easier. And then that allows me to live a life free of worrying about regret. And I get to the grave and, oh my gosh, I didn't do this. We're all going to fucking die. We're all going to fucking die. We all have a to and a from and a dash. 99% of people are wasting their dash. What are you doing? There's your first clip of the day, my friend. Shout out to James J. Sexton. Close to death. Ooh, that's some perspective right there. Second clip of the day, my friends. You've heard this a few times if you've tuned into Forge and Fuel or Java and Jams. Who's to say, who's to know? I've read this here poem a few times, but it's never hit me like it hit me last night. Maybe it causes a few waterworks again. Who's to say, who's to know? But joining us here this morning is a man who just has a way about him. His name is Sir Michael Caine, and you might recognize him most from his role in Batman, The Dark Knight Rises. Who's to say, who's to know? You'll see in just a moment as we dive into him, reading a poem by Rudyard Kipling entitled, If.
It's one of my favorites. My father read it to me once. To me as a little boy, it summed up what a man should be. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too, if you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, or watch the things you gave your life for broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at the beginning and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are done, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
That's why I say, man, I can kick all this stuff to the curb, all of it. I don't care. None of this stuff defines who I am. Not the watches, not the cars, none of that shit. I've lost it all before, and it never stopped who I was. It didn't complete me. It didn't stop me. It didn't make me less or worse. I've gotten it back, and it didn't make me better. It didn't make me, holier than thou, or none of that. It just shows that I can continue to bring all these amazing things into my life over and over again. Regardless of the resources I start with, I can always end the same. And that's what I ask and hope that you guys would do every single day, every time you get in here, that we're giving you some tools and some power so that you can get up every day. And maybe yesterday didn't go the way you wanted. Maybe it wasn't what you wanted. Maybe this week hasn't gone that way. Hell, it's only Monday, but a lot of people, this week's already done. They woke up in such a, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Right? The 15th just happened. Who knows? People are in dire straits right now. Hey, that's the last check I got till Christmas. What am I going to do? Right? It's out there right now. But you know what? You will make it. Time will happen, and you'll find a way. And here's the thing. Every day, just try to be better than you were yesterday. Get up, get excited. Know that you have today. Know that you have that 86,400 seconds where you can do whatever you want with that currency. Just be very efficient about it. Save what you can, invest what you can, but love all that you can.
If, man, I love that doggone poem. It gets me every time. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can just be the calm in the storm, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, continue to trust, say, hey, I got some haters. If you ain't doing nothing right, if you ain't got a few haters, that's all Rudyard's saying right there. It says, if you can wait and not be tired of waiting, you can stay consistent and persistent. Who's to say, who's to know? Or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give away to hating, and yet don't look too good, not talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim. Golly, how deep does this go? If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters the same, there is no positive, there is no negative, it is only neutral. They're all imposters. It's all in your mind. Rudyard is telling you what we speak of every day. And then he says, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Are you speaking the truth, or are you just giving stuff out to send people in a direction, or likes or repost on a timeline, huh? Or watch the thing you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. You lost everything. You built it with these tools, and you're not afraid enough to stand back up, use the same tools, start from where you are, and rebuild yet again. Literally what I just said. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it all in one turn of pitch and toss, the FedEx story, take all your money, fly out to Vegas, throw it on the roulette wheel. If we win, we keep going. If we lose, we're out of business. Fuck it. No more. And lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. Oh, my life is so bad. I lost everything. My business failed. How powerful. I could keep going on. You heard it. Read it yourself. But it's literally everything we talk about in that poem. And it is literally how you can be a man, my son. It's how you can be a true human being, young woman. It's how you can literally figure this thing out called life. And it hides in a simple poem that not enough people pick up. That's why I talk about If by Rudyard Kipling all the time. Woo! Shout out Sir Michael Caine. What a guy. I love his accent, love his vibe, love his energy.
He's actually a really good actor. That's one guy I will watch.
100%. Good stuff there this morning, my friends. There is your second clip of the day. Time to get into your third clip of the day. And this one, it's good you got that matrix going on back there in the background, DJ Swirl One, because this one gonna smack the shit out of some souls here this morning. So, my friends, strap in, lock in, as Mr. Robert Lustig joins us this morning to give us some perspective on pleasure versus happiness.
Pleasure and happiness. A lot of people equate the two, but I'm here to tell you that they are completely different. Pleasure is short-lived, happiness is long-lived. Pleasure is visceral, happiness is ethereal. Pleasure is taking, happiness is giving. Pleasure can be achieved with substances, happiness cannot be achieved with substances. Pleasure is experienced alone, happiness is experienced in social groups. The extremes of pleasure all lead to addiction, whether they be substances or behaviors. Yet there's no such thing as being addicted to too much happiness. And finally, number 7, most important, pleasure is dopamine and happiness is serotonin. There's one thing that downregulates serotonin: dopamine. So the more pleasure you seek, the more unhappy you get. And Las Vegas, Madison Avenue, Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and Washington, D.C. have very specifically and in a coordinated fashion confused and conflated the term happiness with the term pleasure, so that you can buy happiness.
Powerful, man. I'm telling you, that's powerful. And I tell you what, I do look at Vegas as an entertainment place. I just booked a trip there, as a matter of fact, this last week, so I'm going to be going up there again. I always think of it as a pleasure place. It's pleasure field. That's exactly. And you'll look around and nobody's happy there. What you really, because somebody just lost a bunch of money. There, always couples fighting. There's all these different things. You know why I'm happy there? Because I'm happy anywhere, baby. It doesn't matter where I'm standing. I'm happy on the 2 feet in the ground, wherever I'm at. I am stoked to be there. I don't care if it's in North Dakota and it's -30. I'm just as happy there. That pleasure that people seek is like just death to them. They will search it till the end of the earth, just taking that poison over and over and over again, trying to make something happen. Oh, I know this is the right one. Eat me, I'm going to get a little bit taller. Drink me, I'm going to get smaller, right? The whole Alice in Wonderland theory. When actually, you just have to be happy to be Alice. Be you in your Wonderland. Be excited to be who you are. Don't worry about being taller or bigger or trying to keep up with the white rabbit. That doesn't matter. Just be happy you're on your journey, that you actually have a looking glass to walk through. That's the difference in this life. People don't understand that they're chasing all of this dopamine everywhere. And we talked about it even on the show. That's one of the things that we're trying to say is, hey, you know what? The things that you can actually make happen and make your life better are all internal. It's all this, the way you feel. It's how you take care of the 4 or 5 things. It's when everything else goes wrong, you're happy because you know why? I got up and handled these 4 or 5 things. Everything else around me, that's beyond me. I'm just going to deal with that. But I know that I'm good because those 4 or 5 things, they're all taken care of.
100%, man. And you went exactly where I was going to go. It just boils down to you being happy with you. That's it. If you want true happiness, you got to be happy with you. You got to sit down and take time to find out what makes you tick, what makes you you, and what makes you the best version of you. And it's so funny that you start to look at this thing, you start to look at the systems and society, and you realize it's just built off of pleasure. It's just built to keep you just happy enough to keep going to that 9 to 5. Salary is the drug they give you to forget your dreams.
Amen.
They give you this phone so you can stay on it while you're at your 9 to 5, so you can stay a little bit happy throughout that 9 to 5. Sneak off and take a 2-hour shit that you didn't need to take just so you could be on TikTok for 2 hours. Yeah, that was never me, but I've seen people do it. Don't worry. Hey, I'm sorry I called you out. I'm sorry. Not a me problem. That's you problem. Go look in the mirror, pal. I'm sorry. All right. I didn't mean to call you out like that in front of everybody, but I just had to tell the truth. Be happy with you. Be happy with you. Stop trying to find happiness in all these other things. And then if you be happy with you, you'll start to get surrounded with people who are also happy with themselves. And then you will be able to create things that make others happy. Wait a minute. Is that what Forging Fuel is? Oh, who's to know? Your third clip on the second segment of this show. Shout out Robert Lustig. A nice little perspective there on pleasure and happiness. Fourth and final clip of the day. Ooh. This one touches you at the top of the head, goes all the way down, swirls around in the heart for a minute, shoots down to your toes, then back up to the soul, and you say, whoa.
I thought you were talking about my coffee.
Oh, that too. Who's to know? Might be doing that at the exact same time. All this perspective. So coffee in one side of the body, perspective in the other, swirl together into one perspective. I got to think of a word for perspective and caffeine combined together. Perspeen, a little perspeen about to shoot out. Who's to know? I'm just coming up with shit as we go along. Who's to say, who's to know? As we get into your final clip of the second segment of this fine morning show, we hear a little perspective, one of them Instagram reels, nobody we got to shout out here, on what is consistency.
Theory, consistency sounds like discipline and determination, strong and unwavering. But in practice, consistency is about being adaptable. When time is tight, shrink the task. When energy is low, do the simpler version. It's not about being rigid. It's about finding ways to keep showing up no matter what. Your habits don't have to be fixed. They should evolve with your day. The key is not in doing the same thing over and over, but in never stopping, even when life gets in the way. Each step forward, no matter how small, keeps you on track. Adaptability isn't the opposite of consistency. It's the very heart of it. Consistency is the art of staying the course, no matter the obstacles.
Isn't that just the fun? Man, it is why almost every single day I talk about pioneering and pivoting. Pioneering something that nobody else can think of or believe or has a vision to, and inevitably coming to the brick wall in the path and saying, what am I going to do to get over this? What am I going to do to break through this? What am I going to do to get around this? And it is a constant game of pivoting and being adaptable and learning a little bit, applying it, getting in the shits, learning a little bit from the shits, applying it again, getting in the shits, learning from the shits, applying it. And it is just a constant fucking cycle of you just learning, getting into the shits, coming back around, going down to bed. And if you just keep showing up, learning what life is trying to tell you, standing tall, even when you feel like dragging your knuckles, I promise you, you too will become consistent. Me and Swirl, we might be the most consistent motherfuckers you know on this entire planet, but it is just because we set the example that you can too. We're nothing special. I'm nothing special. I just simply adapt and pivot, and I don't allow this life to stop me. Nothing in this life. I don't care what circumstance. I don't care what person. I don't care what relationship ends. Nothing will stop me in this life. Here I stand. Here I am. Send me. I am not afraid of the deep, dark valley because I got the rod and staff tattooed on my arm. I know I am protected no matter what. I fear no evil. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. I don't have to worry about being consistent because I get another chance to open my two gifts every single day, suck in a little air, and get the hell after it. Push my toes in the ground when so many people didn't. Better yet, so many people woke up with the same opportunity, yet they dragged their knuckles from their bed to their bathroom for their morning piss, and they never got out of it. While I was beaming, jumping, ready to go on this show, fired the fuck up. I've already had a full doggone day, and it ain't even 10 o'clock on the East Coast yet. Some people are still trying to figure that out by 6 o'clock at night. They still haven't done their 4 to 5 things, still haven't taken care of their body, still haven't done something for somebody else. Not me, not Swirl One. That's what consistency is right there, baby.
Here's the other thing, too. People look at you, go, how do you stay so consistent? How do you get there? You know, I just don't got time for my workouts. I don't got time to get all this. I can't eat right. Wrong. Yeah, wrong. And let me tell you something. Consistent doesn't mean that I get up every day and, well, at 7 o'clock, I do this. At 9 o'clock. Well, at 7 o'clock, obviously, I do this. But at 9 o'clock, my 9 o'clock looks different on a Monday than it does on Saturday. I promise you, it's completely different. But then, does that change my consistency? Does that change the things I need to do? No. Sometimes I can't get that workout in until 8:30 at night. Sometimes I get that workout in at 8:45 in the morning. It just depends on how things are working. But what I know is, regardless of what my day looks like, those 4 or 5 things are going to get checked off the list, and they will fit before everything else fits, right? We talked about filling up the glass, right? Put the big things in there first, and then all the little things can fit in all the crevices and cracks, and you can make more of your day that way. So, hey, start with the big rocks. Put those things in there first. Once you have this, then you can make time for all the other little things that decide to come in there. The frogs and the extra sand and the people that put all the things on your calendar, whatever it is. But my day is consistently inconsistent. It's not the same every day. I pivot every day to make sure I can get my workout in. I pivoted yesterday just to make sure I could go get some groceries because I'm like, hey, you haven't been home a lot. You don't have a lot of groceries here. You're going to start resorting to doing other things to eat if you don't go do something. But then you say to yourself, well, Swirl, you're not going to be here for like 5 or 6 days or what have you. Okay, well, guess what? You're going to be here tomorrow. So guess what you need to do? Get food for tomorrow. Yeah, can you see that step? Take that one. Get today taken care of. And I promise you, you do it all today. No matter what tomorrow looks like, you can do it all tomorrow too.
And hey, Swirl One, I'd also like to turn your attention. There was 444 people live in prime time in the chat while we were talking about that consistency. It just the whole time through consistency was 444. So I thought, what does 444 mean? Well, it's a sign that you're about to make a big decision or that you're on the right track and should trust your intuition. It's also a sign that you're about to experience stability and harmony after a little bit of instability in your life and that you're ready to embrace this next chapter with full arms. So I don't a sign that you should take control of your life, bring order to chaos, and set secure foundations. Who's man? It's like we're on the right path.
Like we're talking about these things or something.
I don't know. I raised some things, put some dots out there. You want to draw the lines, do what you want to do. Who's to say, who's to know? Also, I started doing that time block a while back ago, right? And I found my days are just so non-monotonous. They're just always all over the place. I never know that was really, it was becoming too much for me. And every half hour and fucking, I got to get to this. And, this took me a little longer. And, no, I'm behind. It was just becoming this mental battle. I'm like, whoa, fuck this. So I stopped using it. And really, I've been thinking a lot. And this is kind of G7 top secret, high classified information. But I really want to provide something for members of the Diamond Ham fam, for OGs in the Gateway, that can help you with some of this time. Maybe a worksheet, maybe our own version. I use so many little fucking things and I run into roadblocks like, this doesn't work as good. Let me try this, whatever. And I feel like I have so many good ideas that, I know that this was an idea. Look where this fucking thing has gone. So I want to really start providing some worksheets, help books, whatever the hell you want to call them, to just help you guys be more productive, help you thrive in this thing called life just a little bit easier, not make it so damn hard, because everybody's talking about time block planners, but there's absolutely no way that some of the most successful people are on half hour. It's just, it's no fuck. There's no way. There's just no.
Let me throw this out there for you. Maybe it's so much of not breaking it down to the minutes, hours, days, but maybe it's the way you look at your minutes, hours, days, and weeks, right? We look at things as Monday through Friday, Saturday through Sunday, what have you. But what if you looked at your life as you had 12 rows, January, February, March, April, and that row constituted what we consider a week, even though it's a month, right? What would you get done in that if you knew that when that one was done, you only had 11 left, right? Instead of saying, I got 3 weeks left in this month, what would happen then? when you only have one for every month on there and it had just had it spelled out, you would probably do something different, look a little different. That Saturday wouldn't mean as much because now it's in the middle of a line. It's not the end of a line that starts another, it's in the middle, right? There's something about the way that looks to you. Your psyche will make you think differently. So just throwing that out there.
Woo! We might have to have some conversations here back behind the scenes for one. I like the way you're thinking. I'm picking up what you're putting down right there. Who's to say, who's to know? It's all about tricking the mind.
Because it wouldn't be a weekend. There's no longer weekends when you do that. Think of every day matters. Every day matters.
I don't have
weeks
and weekends.
It's Saturday, right? Well, no, but we don't. But people do because they work Monday through Friday. Can't wait for the weekend.
Can't wait. But man, I'm telling you, you get in this mindset of you just stop wasting the weekends and you think about that close to death, man. You're just going to wake up one day and all you've been doing is using your weekends to escape the life you're living instead of building it to the life you've been dreaming about.
You're sitting on the couch eating bonbons, just wasting away. You're not helping your longevity in any way, shape, or form.
Watching NFL, high-level athletes who are fucking just peak prime performance, making millions and billions of dollars while you're overweight, eating ho-hos, and making fucking 27 grand a year. Like, what are we talking about? You know, and then you show up on Monday morning to the water cooler talking about how Alshon Jeffrey, I'm being a smart ass in general. Alshon Jeffrey no longer plays for the NFL. Okay, I get that. Alshon Jeffrey didn't score his fucking touchdown and help your fucking fantasy football team. Oh my gosh, DJ Moore didn't score a touchdown. Caleb Williams, oh, did you see that bullshit? The Bears said he was going to turn around this year. Oh, it's always the same story. Can't even see straight. You're so emotionally caught up in somebody else's life. Better yet, an organization's life. You go to your 9 to 5 to build somebody else's dream, and then you show up on Saturday to build a college institution's dream or a bar's dream or a club's dream, and then you show up on Sunday and you help build an NFL organization's dream or an NHL team or an MLB team. You're pumping money and you bought a new t-shirt while you were sitting there watching the game. You just had to have that new Bears t-shirt because they showed the Fanatics 10% off code. Oh my gosh, I just got to have that 10%. Saying it because I've done it, my friends. And then all of a sudden you've spent 7 days in a loop doing everybody else's dreams, building everybody else's dreams. Oh, better yet, you even went over to DraftKings and spent $50 that you could have invested in Bitcoin, but you threw $50 away because you knew that parlay was going to hit. But now DraftKings has got your $50 and you ain't got zero in that old account and you're fucking, why is my life going nowhere? Woe is me. I can't ever save anything. I'll never go anywhere in life.
So true.
It's so hard. Think about that, man. I just had that epiphany right here live in primetime on the show. How crazy is that? Whoa. Whoo! Man, my brain's kind of spinning right now. I got gears turning. Let me let the smoke out of my ears. Holy shit. That one got me. All right, my friends. There is your 4 clips of the day, your second segment of the day in total. Shout out to James J. Sexton, Sir Michael Caine, Robert Lustig, and whoever made that nice reel. But my friends, it is time to get into your third and final segment of the day. If you don't know, you won't know, but this is where we connect with you, the live viewer, baby. So if you've been commenting away throughout the duration of the show, we about to pop you up on this screen, baby. But maybe you're just watching, maybe on X, maybe on Rumble, maybe on the tubes of the U variety, and you're saying, hey, I'd like to get involved in the chat. I got something burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festered on the soul. I got a little insights. Wait, I got a little question. I think they could answer this. Well, hell yeah, we can. Drop it over there in the live chat. And here on the opposite side of this little transition, we'll shift up, pop it up on the screen, and say what you might mean. Who's to say, who's to know, as we continue this morning's flow and get into your third and final segment of the day. It is your Answers from the Anvil. Okie dokie artichokes. 25 minutes after the top of the hour, 9:25 Eastern, 8:25 Central, 7:25 in the mountains, and 6:25 specifically. Shout out to all
It's really
you.
out there on the specific time side of things.
I tell you, shout out to all you specific viewers. I was just thinking, boy, oh boy, man, it is early, but we can't tell you
And
how
we
much
care about you guys specifically.
I tell you what, specifically. Hey, we got one of those D's. Give me a.
Boom, boom,
We care about you specifically.
boom, boom.
Damn, bummer. I think it's under badumts. I don't know. I don't know what I named it. I thought we had one of those.
He's over there going, I swear, Cap, I'm trying.
I swear,
bro.
I'm trying. I'm in the
I
search
don't
bubble.
see it. I don't know.
It's not popping up. What the
It's popping
fuck?
up.
There's no button here, Cap. There's no button. All right, sorry.
Oh
dude. I
shit!
thought we
I'm
had-
sorry.
It's all good, bro. You're killing the
Shout out,
game, bro.
dude.
You're killing the game.
Crushing
right
it.
now. Yeah, exactly. Close enough.
Crushing it every day. Who's to say? Who's to know? Watch, I'll find it as soon as the show's over. He'll find
You're
it.
like,
soon.
there it is, D's right there.
Oh, there it is. Who's to say? Who's to know? Well, my friends, let's see who all these beautiful human beings who've been tuning into the show. Let's see what they got to say. See what's been burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul, baby. Mr. Producer shifted us up on the screen. Here we are. Let's see what these beautiful human beings have got to say today. First man up live in prime time, Brian Live Dog Livingston, our UFO connection. The only way to change, obtain a goal, or for that matter, embrace life itself. You have to want to every.
You have to want to every second of the day.
That fucked up my brain right there.
Yeah,
you have to want to every
you know,
second of
yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Got it. Sorry, I was a little.
Got you. I got you.
Appreciate you. That's
Yeah,
why you
brother.
always got my back. I appreciate you.
Oh, it's
Shout
the
out-
most right here.
Hey, telling you what. Shout out to you, Live Dog. Appreciate you, brother. Love that perspective. Obtain a goal or just embrace life. Don't try
He's
to
a
guide
Bills
life.
fan, huh? Old Damascus.
Try life. Yeah, he's a big Bills
Having
fan.
a good year. Good for him.
They're having a great year. They just beat the dog shit out of the Lions yesterday in Detroit, in Ford Field. Easy's happy. And if his doggone Packers go over there and kick the shit out of the 12th man tonight, oh, he gonna be even more fucking happy. I'm gonna tell you what, he might make an appearance on the show. He might just come out from behind the scenes. He'll be so fucking happy tomorrow morning. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out to you, Mr. Damascus Oglesby, and your Beefalo Bulls. Who's to say, who's to
Beefalos.
know? The Beefalos.
Shout out Slugbug. Morning, y'all. How you doing? It's good to see you. Straight from the blue, I think you're from here. if I'm not mistaken.
Shout out Slugbug. When I worked in a restaurant, there was the head chef. His name was Ricky Ricardo, Mexican dude, cool as hell, one of the nicest guys on the planet. And we had a buffalo chicken sandwich on the menu. And anytime one would come through, we go, two buffalo, one no buffalo, two buffalo. He would always say buffalo, and it was just the best. Shout out Ricky Ricardo. Who else we got out there, D's? Kim Jones, Mama Cap, live in prime time. Great morning, Forge and Fuel. Let's get fueled up for this day. Shout out to you, Mama Bear. Appreciate you being in the chat. Mrs. Meadow with her usual insights. Great morning, fam. Today's reminder is to follow your gut instincts about people and places because our guts never lie. It's when we allow our emotions to lead us, that's when we get into trouble. Much love. Ooh, that ain't the truth. Yeah, I don't have very good internal antenna. Bullshit, you just don't listen to it. When your
Right.
stomach's turning
You
and
know.
flipping and the red flags are waving and saying, stop! Most people just say, you know what? Let me get a little green paint. I'll just paint them red flags. Yeah, we're good. Seems good. Keep going on, everybody. Why not? Then all of a sudden, a little rain comes along, washes off that green paint, and then you realize there's red flags again. You say, probably shouldn't have done that. Shout out for the reminder, Mrs. Metal. We appreciate you. The other half of the medals, Mr. Metal, shout out. GM to you, good sir. Hope you're having a great day down there in sunny FLA. Who else we got? Oh, shit, there he is. The man, the myth, the legend, the host of the Phone Booth Podcast, Mr. Ted Logan 1010, GM. It's a great day to be alive. Love y'all. We love you too, Teddy. Appreciate you, big dog. Again,
Funny, he don't
honor.
look like that.
I know, it is a little weird. I thought he was Keanu
I could
Reeves.
have swore that's what he looked like, but
A
that
little
is not what he
upset.
looks
I
like.
guess it wasn't. I don't. Who's say who's no. Another amazing show in the books. Much love and respect for that y'all are doing. Shout out to you, Ted. We appreciate you, man. All your kind words, everything you have done for us, for this fam, for this show, man. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. And I told you on the show, I look forward to the future of wherever our companies, our shows, everything we got going on goes, man. I believe our paths cross for a reason. So shout out to you, my guy. We appreciate the hell out of you. And if you guys aren't already following Ted Logan or Bill S. Squire or Death or the legend Rufus himself, no_curve, give our guys a follow and the Phone Booth Pod too. Banging show over there. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out Aunt Donnie. Ooh, I get to see you in a couple of days. Oh, shout out Aunt Donnie. Delta 24.
Did you just see her for Thanksgiving and do all that stuff?
Yeah, I did, but I get to spend some personal time now with my 3 favorite ladies. This other one here too, Grammy PG.
Oh, I gotta check my DM from Grammy P.
Great morning, family. Yeah.
I have not checked it.
You're gonna want to check. You were busy last week, a lot of traveling, a lot of fires.
I got you. I'll write.
It was probably sent to you the day that you called me, and we had said conversation, the whole thing, and everything.
Yeah,
and it's really probably gonna go to you again. So I just don't miss out on that.
I won't miss it. I'm gonna hit that today, Grammy.
But also, yeah, I get to spend an entire weekend with my 3 favorite girls in the whole wide world. Mama Capp, GP, Aunt Donnie. We just get to vibe out, have some good food. We can go look at some Christmas lights. We can go have.
I missed that. I might have to take my family to go see some Christmas lights this year.
Dude, we got pretty good little light session about to come up here. They wanted a pretty penny. They wanted a pretty penny for these doggone tickets. So these lights better.
Oh, there's tickets.
Oh, son, the doggone sponsorship. It's at a golf course, I guess. Sponsorship 1 hole was like $5,000. So they better be able to see these doggone.
Way cooler than what I was thinking. I was just talking about taking a jaunt through random neighborhoods and seeing what.
That's why that's what we used to do. But Mom says, "Hey, this year we're going off the deep end. We're going to a full light show." I said, "Hey, I'm in.
Okay.
I'll drive. You guys just get in the side and we'll just rock and roll." I guess it's an hour to get through this whole thing. I don't know. I might have to take some videos, put some content out there, let the people know what I'm.
Vitamin friendly?
Well, not in Mama Capp's truck. That's kind of a bummer. Maybe I get out.
I'd take my own truck if that was the case.
Maybe I get out and ghost ride the whip. Who's to say? Who's to know?
Put me in the bed. I'm fine. I'm fine, Mom.
I'll be good back here. I got
my hot toddy. We're good.
A liquid blanket, couple of doobies. We're good. 150%. Who's to know? Maybe a couple of fun guys. I mean, it just makes.
I met a guy the other day.
So I met a guy. Oh, fucking shit.
I walk into his office and there's a big old mushroom on his desk. And it just says, "I'm a fun guy." And I look at it and I'm like, and I look at him and I look at it and I look at him. And I was sitting there and I go, "So what's up with this over here?" He goes, "You want to know what my nickname is?" I said, "What's your nickname?" He goes, "Mushroom." And I just kind of looked at my why. Because I'm a fun guy. And I just fucking lost it, dude. And this guy was, I'm telling you, he was probably 6'3", 6'3" around. I'm just telling you, he was that kind of guy. He was very big. And I was like, I'm so many questions, but I'm going to leave it right here. Let's just leave it.
Oh, shit. I'm a fun guy.
That's what he said, dude. And he said it in such a straight pace. And when you look at the guy, you would not think in a million years that this guy would even make a joke like that. And then he said it so clearly and didn't even, he was looking at his screen when he said it. And he looked at me. I was just like,
oh, smooth. Okay, I'm with you. All right, who's to know? Who else we got out there on the show, D's? Nick's Travel Vlogs.
Shout out, Nick.
The legend live in primetime. GM. Happy Monday, brother. How you nerd? Let's get it. Shout out to you. Hope you're crushing today, man. Hope that baptism, I think that baptism came and went. Who's to say, who's to know? If it didn't, let us know, brother. Hopefully that went. Welcome to the family of God, my brother. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, my man. Still tuning in. Showing consistency in the chat. Who else we got out there? Jared Albright. Great morning, everyone. Hands yellow, heart red. Who's to say? Who's to know? We love you, Jared. Appreciate you showing up, my guy, every single day. Oh, he was rocking some new Diamond Hand merch over the weekend, too. Woo!
Some people with some grandpa merch, too.
Ooh, I seen that out there, too. Yeah. Shout out Jared Albright. Shout out to the beautiful Bella Rossi, a.k.a. the beautiful Wable Snow, a.k.a. Mama Snow herself, Mama Derek Snow. Great morning, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Right back at you, young lady. Shout out to you, Mama Snow. JK Big Time, GM, crush the day as per usual, says our nation's capital connection, baby. Shout out to you, Mr. Small Time. who's not even close to being on Small Time, but whatever. Jared Albright. Ted, can't wait to watch the Phone Booth Pod interview with the guys. Is that airing today? Yes, it is actually already live in prime time. It's up now. It was an amazing time. We went a little long. A little? Fuck me. I don't think you guys have had a show over an hour and a half ever. I was like, what is going on right here? We are talking. I mean,
they're going to chop it up and take about 20 minutes out of that shit, I'm sure.
They had to. There's no way we can talk about all that stuff. There's no way. That is way too much. There's no way. Who's say, who's to know? Shout out to you guys. Fire Flame. Swirl, OMG, that shirt, though. Fire.
Oh, good idea. Bro, it's got like the little thing, so that's like you can go ahead and lock up all your. It's my favorite.
Damn, we just released a flannel in the old doggone mine.
But
I hope ours is
a little
that's what I'm saying. I hope ours is that cool. That's fucking cool. I don't know if ours has that.
Keep up, bro, and then it goes off. You know them forearms.
Wow, dude, I'm a pretty big fan of that. Pretty big fan of what you got going on over there right now.
This thing is quality. Let me tell you, doesn't need ironing anything. It just stands up like it's supposed to. It's
hell yeah. Maybe
I
selling
think
some more product live in prime time. Who's to know? Yeti is where it's at. Also selling another product live in prime time. Just take a nice little sip. Be the model of your own product right there. Who's to know? Shout out Nick once again. We appreciate you tuning into the show. Who else we got out there? DEEZYY. Any good perspective? Oh, there she is. Miss Simply Soapology herself. Brittany Panko. Great morning, Diamonds. Great morning to you, young lady. Hope you're having a great start to your day over there in AZ, baby. Shane Harper, a.k.a. Motion. The man always keeping it turning, keeping it going. You don't magically become ready when your moment arrives. Prepare before the spotlight turns on to dominate your moment when they do. Win in the dark, baby. Yes, sir. When you're in battle, you don't rise to the occasion. You sink to the level of your training. Shout out, Motion. Hope you're crushing the day. Probably making some breakfast now. Probably just got done slanging those weights, baby. We appreciate you, dude. Thanks for tuning in live at prime time to the show. Mama Capp back in the chat. When you've lost everything in your life and managed to rise above it, that doesn't scare you anymore. I will always survive because I've done it. Absolutely, Mama Bear. Love that. Good stuff. I agree. Jared Albright, be here now. Ramdas, be here now. Good stuff. JK Big Time, Amy Cuddy, you said it best. Fake it till you become it. Amy Cuddy, take up space.
Take up space, baby.
Into the world. Let them know who you are. Even if you ain't that yet, let them know who you are. And then all of a sudden, you just might start becoming that thing. Who's to say?
It's a great book, man.
Ooh, that's a good book.
It is a good book.
Shout out JK Big Time. We appreciate you. JK, oh, another big time. 100%. If you're unhappy, you're taking life way too seriously. Your life exists in your mind, so make it an epic one. Just try. Be kind. No expectations. Maybe stop writing a sad story and start writing a superhero thriller like you're Iron Man.
Superhero shit, man.
Yeah, do some fucking superhero shit. Get in the fast car, go 170, fucking get out of the car, walk around.
Like an extra in somebody else's movie.
Oh. Ouch. Ooh. That's in the soul right there, Swirl. Oh. Don't be an extra in somebody else's movie. Why don't you start being the star in your own? Oh! That one got me. Shout out Deez for the bomb one time. Deez, we got any more good perspective? Questions, comments? Oh, Angel SD.
Angel SD.
Mr. Peguero, appreciate my Diamond Hand fam. Well, we appreciate the hell out of you, dog. I can't wait till I see you live in prime time again. I love me some Angel.
He's good people.
Oh, I love me some Angel.
That's a great conversation with that guy.
Damn straight. I was actually thinking about Angel and Miss Martha this morning. I remember, we were standing out on the balcony and we were watching UFC. And it was raining, and we had the laptop and the projector covered up, and all the boys were out there, and we were feeling the vibes. And for the first time, the fellas had forgotten where their wives were. They weren't worried about their wives. They were just enjoying the vibes. They were with the guys. Everything was good. And Angel goes, "Where's my wife? Oh, shit." And he takes off for a second. He looks in the window, and there she is just laughing away, chatting with all the other wives. Everything's going great. They took over the whole presidential suite, for crying out loud. He goes, "Oh, I guess we're good. She found some people to talk to. Okay, no problem." And in that moment, everybody realized that it doesn't matter what rage, ace, religion, race, and age, all at the same race, age,
Rage, ace, or living. Yes.
Rage, ace,
Yes.
living, comparing,
Yes.
contrasting,
Being.
race,
Woman.
age, religion, perspective,
team. Yay,
creed,
sport.
color, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. We're all just human beings. We're all just setting the same tone, and we're all just that 1%, man. And it is just amazing to see it. I'll always remember that moment. I will always
A
remember
hell of
that
a career to not be able to speak, bro.
Yeah, I did. It's not great. It's not great. It is something I struggle with on the daily. You know,
Same, bro. Same.
at least
I
I don't
keep
have my
turning-
lisp
I keep
anymore.
turning the camera on though, bro. Somehow I keep showing that.
Dude, I used to have a terrible lisp, and oh man, it was just like my voice was just not appropriate for radio, or I didn't even have a radio voice, you know. So when people say, "Man, your voice is so great," I love listening to it. It's like a radio voice.
People
Like,
say it all the time. I'm like, I used
because
tell
I've had
my
to
dad
work on
I
this
hate
fucking
my voice. I told my dad one time when I was younger.
I used to
I like
hate
your
my
voice.
voice.
And now I'm like, shit. I project, baby. What?
I used to hate my voice too. I used to oh my gosh, I fucking hated it. It was just say, I said nails up a chalkboard. Now you project. You
I
speak
got
the
a
right way. You
gymnasium.
gotta practice. You gotta fucking practice. Or you're not gonna get better at speaking.
Right.
If you only just speak in your fucking head and you're all just making all this shit up in your comment section all the time, and then when somebody calls you out live in prime time and you go, "Abada, abada, 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 abada," and you just catch a case of the hubbadas, jeepers, creepers, maybe you should
Don't
start
get me on a
working
rant, bro. I will fillet somebody right in front
Bro.
of me.
Bro.
Fillet them.
Bro, you are telling me. Who's to
Surprise,
say
Yeah,
who's
I'll be
to
like,
know?
holy shit. What word did you use? How do you spell that? What the hell? Holy shit. I better shut the F up.
Abada, 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 abada. I love when people catch a case of the hubbadas. That's always great. Just abada, 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 abada. Well, my friends, there is your third and final segment of the day. Shout out to all of you beautiful human beings. Got live in prime time in the chat. Shared your perspective. Got that algo going and flowing for us today.
Nice. Thank you.
We appreciate the hell out of you. But that is your 3 segments of the day. Your sharpening session, talking about real recognizes real and why that might be. Your reaction refinery for banging clips, baby. And then an electric answers from the Anvil. Shout out to all you beautiful human beings that kept this show going and flowing over the last hour and 42 minutes. What the hell's going on? Holy shit. We got to go start this Monday. Boy, oh boy, I gotta have a timer over here or something. Start. Hey, dumbass. Maybe put a big clock like right here in front of me.
I have both of my phones right here in front of me, and this one's flashing like so much going on over here. And I'm like, yeah, it's just Monday. Let's deal with it. Although my barber just told me no haircut today, so
you'll be all
it's
right.
been 3 weeks. That's why you guys are seeing the Elvis fro. So Friday we'll get a cut.
No problem, man. All good. All good in the fucking
Yeah,
hood.
I'm okay with it.
It's all good in the hood. You wake up with volume. You'd be all right, buddy. But my friends, there is your segments. There's your show. It's time to wrap this bad boy up for the day and go turn some obstacles into opportunities, losses into lessons, what we thought was going to be a failure, just a brand new damn chance to flourish. But before we do, a couple of things we got to remind you. A couple of things we got to get you up to date on. And where we start on this whole outro journey is by asking DJ Swirl One. Any final thoughts, closing comments, reminders, perspectives, anything in between for episode 630?
Damn, I had a great time today. So excited to see all of you amazing human beings showing up to party this morning. Get your day started this morning. Get your Monday kicked off the right way so you don't walk out with a case of the Mondays. You only have a case of the todays. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to fix it? How efficient are you going to be with the 86,400 seconds that you've been given today? Hopefully something we've said gets you kicked into gear and ready to rock and roll, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to leave from this spare space, this whatever you want to call it, podcast, this message, and I'm going to go out and kick some ass today. Got my house cleaners about to show up over here, so we need to get them moving around a little bit. Then I'm going to go and get in the car and drive to parts unknown, because you already know how I do that, because I've got to handle some bees and ass today. So, my friends, tonight we will be live. Me and this guy over here. Wait, this guy over here. Yeah. Oh, and DZ too back there. Shout out, Mr. Producer. He's going to be with us. Oh, yeah. Gag Spaces Monday Madness, baby, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk all good things Grandpa Ape Country Club. Also, don't forget to tune in to the Phone Booth podcast today to see me and this crazy dude sit and talk to some amazing human beings, share some great perspective, and talk about all kinds of different rabbit holes while we're in there. Make sure you give them a follow. Some amazing conversation came out of that podcast. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Swirl One. I can't wait to see you guys on Taco Tuesday, or maybe tonight for GAC Monday, or maybe at the Phone Booth podcast, or wherever you happen to find us. Just thank you very much. Hit that like, that repost, send somebody this out there and say, hey, check these guys out. They made my day.
Shout out, Swirl One. Appreciate the hell out of you, my guy. Thanks for bringing in vibes and good perspectives and insights all morning long. Nobody else I'd want to help these people start their day with. The co-host with the mostest, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Swirl One. Shout out to you, good sir. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday because you deserve it. As for all you beautiful human beings on the opposite side of this screen, maybe on your cellular device, maybe on your laptop, your desktop, maybe on the old smart board at the office. Maybe you got us on the old projector up there. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hope you're having a great day at the office. Howdy do. Howdy do. Hi. How are you? Great to see you down there, Sally. Hey, turn that frown upside down, Bobby. I don't like to see that down there. We appreciate you for letting us invade your space over the course of the last hour and 46 minutes. But it's time to wrap this bad boy officially up. Paper or plastic, put a bow on that Shamama Beach. Episode 630 is officially over. No mas, no mo. But it is recorded for your enjoyment if you do need to come back throughout this Monday or any day for that matter, because we do have a nice catalog of all the shows now, unlike before. Couple of reminders for you. DJ Swirl One already said it, but once again, just in case you missed it, GAC X DHMG X Spaces tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Check out the Phone Booth Pod live in prime time now on Rumble. They got kicked off of the YouTube because they were being a little too real for the old tubes, so check it out on Rumble. You can also check them out at the Phone Booth Pod over there on X, and you can find all the links. We've been reposting it from our pages, Diamond Hand, my page, Swirl's page, all that stuff too. Speaking of shows, we'll have Decoding the Divide this Wednesday, and I am bringing on a special guest. Ooh, a special guest we've heard from on another show before who caught a little virality because what she did to a Chicago City Council. Who's to say, who's to know? Maybe a little dainty individual coming to spit some fire flame heat on Decoding the Divide. Who's to say, who's to know? Show up on Wednesday, and you might just find out who's joining us on the opposite side. Also, soon I will be rocking my Forge and Fuel shirt. I ordered mine coming in here in the next couple of days. If you want to get your own Forge and Fuel shirt, maybe a hoodie, maybe a beanie, maybe a flannel, maybe you want to get a GAC flannel because that fucker looks good as can be over there. Maybe another t-shirt over there. You can get your own Diamond Hand Media Group apparel by going to mindandshineapparel.com, located in this link. Look, this episode's description, link there. And you can also find the GAC Pro Shop and find all your GAC apparel down there in this episode's description as well. And speaking of pertinent links, those are all down there. Our Instagrams, our X's, our websites, everything you might possibly need for DHMG, it's all located right here in this episode's description. And outside of that, if you haven't hit a subscribe, if you haven't hit a notification bell, if you haven't put that follow button in a rear naked choke, if you haven't dropped a regular old
don't be rude,
a DDT on a like, maybe a regular old just a little stone cold stunner on a repost, who's to say, who's to know, whatever button may be located on your screen, please just smash the shit out of it. We can't thank you enough when you do. It only helps me and the other guy on this screen make this show and all the shows that fall under the DHMG umbrella bigger and better for each and every one of you. But my friends, it is now officially time to start this day. Maybe you're just rolling out of bed. Maybe you've been rocking and rolling. Maybe you're just getting done with the morning commute and you're about to walk into the office. You're like, good gracious, I got to take these vibes and go share them with the world. Well, go do that. Go turn some obstacles into opportunities, some losses into lessons, of what you thought was going to be a failure, just a brand new chance to flourish. And while you go about this Monday, I ask you to keep on your minds that number one, even a 2-year-old can make an excuse.
What?
Number two, even a dead fish can go with the flow.
What?
And number three, being that this here show is a member of the Diamond Hand Media Group, I ask you keep in mind at DHMG, we don't only damn it, HOLD, we hold each other up. Man, I would be a terrible weatherman. And right now is one hell of a time to flex those diamond hands. Shout out to each and every one of you flexing those diamond hands on a day in and day out, night in and night out basis. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts for spending some time with us here this morning. Thank you for being the change, setting the precedent that we want to see not only on YouTube, X, and Rumble, but in this entire wide world. Thank you for being different. Thank you for being the 1%. Thank you for being super soldiers. And to you OGs, thank you for being the Diamond Hand fam. We'll catch you guys on the flip side tonight at GEC XDHMG Spaces. Maybe on the Phone Booth Pod, maybe another show, maybe a Discord, maybe a VC, maybe a group chat, hell, even maybe the Gateway. Wherever we see you, we'll be on the consistent, persistent pursuit of our passions and being right by your side while you pursue yours. But for now, my friends, we bid thee adieu, and we say unto you, peace and love.